Ever wondered why we do the things we do even when they seem illogical? Welcome to the fascinating world of psychology, where the mind is the stage and its quirks are the performers. Today, we're going to unravel the mysteries of our own minds. We'll dive into the concept of psychological tricks, those little mental shortcuts that our brains take when making decisions. They're like the secret codes of the mind, often operating behind the scenes without us even noticing. But once we understand them, we can use these tricks to our advantage, turning the tables on our own minds to transform our lives. From the halo effect to cognitive dissonance, from social proof to the scarcity effect, we'll break down 10 of these tricks one by one. So strap in and prepare for a journey into the mind's hidden depths. Stay tuned as we delve into the top 10 psychological tricks to transform your life. Ever found yourself making assumptions about someone based on a single trait? That, my friends, is the halo effect at work. It's a psychological phenomenon where we let one positive or negative trait influence our overall perception of someone. For example, let's take a successful businessman. You might assume he's smart, charismatic and hardworking, but in reality he could be as lazy as a sloth on a Sunday afternoon. This bias is not exclusive to people though. It extends to brands, products and even experiences. You might assume that a posh restaurant serves delicious food, but they could be serving you microwaved leftovers and you'd be none the wiser. It's important to be aware of the halo effect, as it can lead to misconceptions and wrong decisions. So the next time you meet someone or try something new, remember to take a step back and see the whole picture. Remember, first impressions aren't always accurate. Do you tend to favor information that confirms your existing beliefs? This, my friends, is what we call confirmation bias. It's a trick our minds play on us, making us cling to our beliefs even when faced with contradicting evidence. Let's dive into a case study, shall we? Imagine you're convinced that every full moon brings about chaos. You might notice increased traffic on the road, or perhaps your neighbor's dog is barking more than usual. You think, the full moon strikes again. But are you paying attention to all the times when the full moon has passed without any unusual incidents? Probably not. That's confirmation bias in action. It's easy to fall prey to this bias. It's comfortable, it's convenient. But remember, it can prevent us from seeing the world as it truly is. So it's important to challenge our own beliefs and perspectives. It's not about proving ourselves right. It's about seeking the truth. Ever felt uncomfortable when your actions contradict your beliefs? That's cognitive dissonance for you, a psychological term that describes the tension we experience when our beliefs, ideas, or values clash with our behavior. Imagine you're a health-conscious person, but you find yourself reaching for that extra slice of pizza. Your belief in healthy eating is at odds with the pepperoni delight in your hands. That guilt, that discomfort, that's cognitive dissonance. Now you have two options. You can either change your behavior or change your belief. You might decide to put down the pizza, aligning your actions with your belief in healthy eating, or you could tweak your belief, convincing yourself that a little indulgence is okay. Cognitive dissonance is a powerful motivator for change. It nudges us to align our actions with our beliefs or vice versa. So next time you're in a psychological tug-of-war, remember, it's okay to change our beliefs when faced with new information. Ever felt pressured to conform to what others are doing? That's social proof in action. It's a psychological phenomenon where we mimic the actions of others in an attempt to reflect correct behavior for a given situation. Picture this. You're in a new city and you're starving. You see two restaurants, one is bustling with people, the other is eerily quiet. Which one do you choose? Most likely you'll pick the crowded one. Why? Because you assume that if many people are dining there, the food must be good. That's social proof. However, it's not always wise to follow the herd. Remember the dot-com bubble of the late 90s? Thousands jumped on the bandwagon of investing in internet companies, only for it to burst and lead to massive financial losses. So, while social proof can be helpful, it's important to make decisions based on our own judgments, not just because others are doing it. Ever noticed how one idea can influence your thoughts and actions? That's priming in action, a psychological marvel that subtly shapes our behavior. Imagine you're strolling through a park. A passerby, a total stranger, asks you about the time. You share the information, no big deal, right? But then you find yourself checking your watch more often than usual, even if you're not in a hurry. That's priming. Our friend, the question about the time, planted a seed in your mind. The seed grows and suddenly you're more aware of time. Now, this is a simple example. Priming can be complex, impacting our decision-making, our perceptions, even our tastes. Marketers use it, politicians use it, even your best friend uses it, probably without realizing it. So what's the takeaway? Be aware, friends. External factors, words, images, they can subconsciously influence our thoughts and actions. Be vigilant, be informed, and remember, knowledge is power. Be aware of how external factors can subconsciously influence our thoughts and actions. Ever been swayed by the first piece of information you encounter? Well, my friends, it's not just you. This little psychological quirk is known as anchoring. It's the tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we see, the anchor, when making decisions. Let's consider a real-life example. Imagine you're buying a new car. The dealer tells you the price is £20,000. That's your anchor. You might negotiate, haggle a bit here and there, but that initial price is stuck in your head. Even if you manage to knock off a few £100s, you'll still feel like you've snagged a deal, even if the car was actually worth £15,000 to begin with. Anchoring can affect all areas of our lives, from shopping decisions to salary negotiations. So next time you're faced with a decision, take a step back and ask, am I being anchored? Remember, the first piece of information isn't always the most important. Ever noticed how the fear of loss can influence your decisions? Welcome to the intriguing world of loss aversion. This psychological phenomenon is based on the idea that people feel the pain of losing more intensely than the pleasure of gaining. Let's consider a real-life example. Imagine you're offered a gamble on a coin flip. If it lands on heads, you win $100, but if it lands on tails, you lose $50. Despite the potential gain being twice as much as the potential loss, many would avoid this gamble entirely. Why? Because the fear of losing $50 feels much stronger than the excitement of possibly winning $100. Loss aversion can often lead to risk-averse behavior and decision paralysis. Understanding this concept can help you make more balanced decisions. It's important to weigh the potential gains against the potential losses. So, the next time you're faced with a decision, remember to consider both sides of the coin. Ever wanted something more because it was rare or hard to get? Welcome to the world of the scarcity effect. It's a psychological principle that tells us we place a higher value on things that are limited in quantity. It's why we rush to buy that last piece of cake at the bakery, or why we're willing to pay top dollar for rare collectibles. Let's take a real-life example. Imagine a winery that produces only 1,000 bottles of a particular wine each year. This limitation makes the wine seem more desirable, doesn't it? Suddenly, it's not just a bottle of wine, but a rare, exclusive experience. But is the wine really better because there's less of it? Not necessarily. That's the scarcity effect for you. It's a powerful trick our minds play that can lead us to make irrational decisions. So, the next time you're tempted by something simply because it's scarce, take a moment to think, is it really worth it? Remember, scarcity doesn't always mean value. Ever felt obligated to return a favor? Welcome to the world of the reciprocity principle, a psychological phenomenon that can have a profound impact on our behaviors and decisions. This principle states that we feel a strong urge to repay in kind what another person has provided us. Picture this: you're at a supermarket and a friendly staff member hands you a free sample of a new chocolate brand. You enjoy the taste, and before you know it, you're walking out with a whole box of those chocolates. That's the reciprocity principle at work. Or consider a friend who helped you move. You might feel compelled to return the favor when they need help, even if it's inconvenient. The principle taps into our innate desire for balance and fairness. But remember, while it's a powerful tool for building relationships and encouraging positive interactions, it's also important to recognize when it's being used to manipulate our decisions. Remember, it's okay to say no sometimes. Enjoying the video so far? If you're finding these psychological insights beneficial, don't hesitate to hit the subscribe and like buttons. Your support fuels our exploration into the intriguing labyrinth that is the human mind. Let's continue our journey into the mind. Ever noticed how we tend to take credit for success and blame others for failure? That, my friends, is the self-serving bias in action. Picture this. You've just aced a test. You're convinced it's because you're a genius, right? But what about when you fail? Must be because the teacher didn't explain the material well, or the questions were unfair. That's self-serving bias. We humans have a knack for attributing our successes to our skills and efforts, while conveniently blaming external factors for our failures. This bias helps us maintain our self-esteem and can sometimes even be beneficial. But it can also hinder personal growth and lead to a skewed perception of reality. Here's the kicker. We're often not even aware we're doing it. So, next time you catch yourself blaming the universe for your misfortunes, remember the self-serving bias. It's important to take responsibility for our actions, both good and bad. So there you have it. We've ventured through the intriguing landscape of psychology, illuminating the halo effect's influence on our perceptions and the confirmation bias's sway over our beliefs. We've unraveled the complexities of cognitive dissonance and the power of social proof. We've shed light on the subtle art of priming and anchoring, explored the impact of loss aversion, the scarcity effect, and the reciprocity principle. We've also considered the importance of acknowledging the self-serving bias within us. Each of these psychological tricks offers a unique lens to view and navigate our world, providing us with keys to unlock a more effective way of living. Remember, understanding these psychological tricks can help us navigate life more effectively. Thanks for watching. If you found this enlightening, spread the knowledge, share this video with friends. Got thoughts? Drop a comment below. Remember, understanding psychology is a journey, not a destination. Stay tuned for more insights into the fascinating world of psychology.
Savored this video? Fancy another? Click the on-screen video for an even deeper dive into fresh territory. Your support is like a warm cuppa on a brisk day. Give us a thumbs up, subscribe, ring that bell for the latest content. Cheers for watching.